Hello, my love, and welcome back. Today, I am diving into some inner masculine work in regards to purpose and legacy and creating the impactful business that you desire. And I'm going to be sharing some of my own process over the last year or two specifically, and some of the most powerful practices that have helped me shift and rebuild my entire business. I am talking about not only activating the inner masculine for the structure, the stability, the solid foundation that I desired and that I was desperately needing, but also sharing about overcoming fear of judgment through anchoring in deep connection and devotion to God. So, I started my business over 6 years ago now, and when I first started, I had this big passion, this big desire to help people and make a difference, but I didn't really have any knowledge of business, especially not online business or coaching spaces or online courses, masterminds, any of that. And what this created over the years was kind of a long Easter egg hunt or like a long chase of going after and trying a million different things to finally figure out what was most authentic to me. But the place where I got most stuck, and this is a place I see so many women struggling with in their businesses, whether this is clients I've worked with who also have online businesses, or whether this is like brick and mortar physical businesses, whether this is in real estate or different types of entrepreneurship, and just sharing their unique gifts with the world and wanting to scale it and show up in a bigger way. I've worked with so many women over the years on the mindset and the energetics in this space. And one of the most common things that I've seen them struggle with and that I found myself struggling with was a unstable or unsupportive inner masculine framework. So I'll speak for myself first. For myself, I've shared many times before that I've had a lot of different masculine wounding experiences to work around. Now, with our business and our legacy and this massive foundation that if you're watching this, you clearly are wanting to create in your reality as well or expand in your life, well, that is a masculine principle. And it requires, like, if you think about it, building a legacy of any kind requires very, very solid and stable foundations. You've got to build and level and make sure the foundation is perfect before you start building the first, level of the house, and then the second level or the third or whatever this is that you're wanting to create. If we see it as a house or a building, right? It needs a strong and stable and sturdy foundation first. What I struggled with and what I see many women struggling with is because of very deeply rooted traumas or pains towards men in general, or masculine energy, and feeling unsupported or having men in their life be operating from more of a lower masculine kind of energy, then if we don't have a stable internal masculine structure, we will probably be like flowing all over the place in our feminine energy and maybe not building the sturdy, solid foundation that is needed. So where I found myself, perfect example, was like the feminine energy is the water and the masculine energy is the glass that helps to contain and hold it there, right? And there's benefits to both. Both have such beautiful characteristics when they're operating in their higher properties. Where I found myself was a bit of a combination of both lower masculine and lower feminine. So I was very much just this force of emotions flowing all over the place. This is part of why I believe I got pulled into so many different like shiny object syndrome and trying this thing and then jumping to that thing and then breaking down because it didn't work in the first month and now I need to try something else, and getting really stuck in what one of my healing mentors talks about is like the swampy mess of the lower feminine. And I found myself in this place often where it was like an emotional roller coaster, right? On top of that, I had some of the lower masculine or the wounded masculine characteristics playing out because of my abandonment wounds and my rejection wounds and so many experiences in my life where I didn't feel a safe, supportive, present masculine energy or a grounded masculine energy. And so what I knew and what had been programmed in me as the masculine was more of like in and out, not consistent, not predictable, not really that trustworthy. So it didn't feel safe for me to trust in any of the systems that I did try because I didn't really trust the masculine outside of myself or within myself. I also didn't really value strategy and focused long-term building, right? Like the slow and steady momentum. And instead, I was again chasing that quick fix or looking for the immediate gratification, that quick release. And then, like, if it didn't show up or I was then left unsatisfied, I'm like, what do I do now? I guess I need to start all over again. So I found myself in this place. And you can let me know if you can relate or if you've been in that at all yourself. But it was when I started doing more of the quantum healing hypnosis work and the deep inner embodiment and integration around all these aspects of myself that part began to shift. Because the more I started to trust my own inner masculine and create like a healthy inner masculine, which was through a lot of the hypnosis work, reprogramming old patterns of all the things my subconscious associated with masculine energy. Pretty much all of it was negative, right? Whether programmed through like Disney movies and cartoons or programmed through the experiences I had with men around me, childhood trauma, losing my brother suddenly, all these things basically compiled to create unhealthy or just unsupportive beliefs around men and the masculine energy. So I used the subconscious reprogramming to start rewriting that and to start seeing and creating within me what would that divine masculine look like and feel like, and how would my ideal masculine be showing up for me. And it took a long time. It took consistency, which is also a very beautiful, healthy masculine trait, right? It took the daily actions and showing up for myself each day, showing up for that bigger vision, realizing that I'm playing the long game in building a legacy and it's not about the immediate gratification, and no longer allowing my feminine to fall into that swampy mess and become a victim and then create chaos from her wounding, and being that pillar of strength, creating that pillar of strength within me through my inner masculine. And then also because of that, I started to feel more safe. I started to trust what I was building, and then that allowed me to show up and create more from the feminine energy. So you can hopefully see from this the ways that both masculine and feminine energies are so, so important and so crucial. But especially if you are a woman who's watching this, healing your relationship to the masculine is absolutely necessary in order to continue building or growing at the rate that you desire and be able to hold it. Because I see a lot of women who will manifest and they can be in this feminine flow state and create and attract things. But if they don't have that masculine pillar within them, then a lot of times they struggle to hold it and keep it. And the feminine wave comes through again, and suddenly everything they've created is gone. Or like me, even multiple times where I was almost about to just like throw everything I'd created down the toilet because I was just so deeply emotionally invested and everything felt so personal. that I couldn't see the bigger picture of what I was building and the time that it might take. And instead I was falling into just like, well, I guess just, it's like when you're about to lose the game and you throw the board game, knock the table over. It was kind of those feminine, those wounded feminine or wounded inner child temper tantrums that sometimes I would find myself in. So the second part of this is related to connecting to the divine creator God in order to build the legacy. And I've talked about that in another video. You can search it if you want. I believe you just search something with my name and with legacy and it should come up, because it's about shifts that I made in order to start creating that. But I want to speak specifically to how that helped me overcome a lot of the fear of judgment and a lot of the personal parts that I was attaching to it, right? Now, these are all things I teach inside Legacy, which is one of my quantum healing hypnosis bundles. And this one is specifically related to your business and the impact that you're wanting to create on the planet. And being able to align with something so much bigger than yourself and feel safe to hold it, to build it, and bringing in the power of the divine to create from, so that you're not feeling like you're doing it all on your own. The link for Legacy is down in the description box if you're wanting support and all these different trainings, as well as powerful healing hypnosis activations to assist you with this, all the different reprogramming and energy healing that I've been talking about today. One of the aspects of that inside the program that I want to touch on right now is related to working with God and being able to detach, as I mentioned earlier, almost some of the personal, emotional attachment to what you're creating, and remember or step into the feeling that you are being supported by the divine creator. And for me, when I was still in my inconsistency and constantly jumping from one thing to the next and all over my strategies, and I hadn't yet done the inner masculine work to create something more stable, when I was very much in my feels about it all the time, right? And that emotional wave constantly. Everything felt so personal, and it felt really hard for me to believe in what I was creating or to even feel the support in it, because I was looking around at what really did feel like chaos for quite a while. And then I was feeling judgment. I was feeling judgment from myself for not being where I wanted to be yet or where I thought I should be. I was also so terrified of judgment from people around me and the comments that I might get, or the misunderstandings, or just people not seeing what I saw or what I felt within me of how big these different things are that I'm here to branch off and create, which is what I'm currently doing, and it feels so incredible. But I felt so paralyzed by the potential judgment because I was so attached to it personally. And it was as I started doing this work, specifically with connecting to the legacy that God has put me here on earth for, that I started to be able to relax and realize, like, I am the being, God is the doer. I am the being. I have incarnated here on this planet in this particular moment in time and space with the unique gifts and perceptions and experiences that I have, with the energy, the insight that I have. I came here for a reason. I've always known that, and I feel that so deeply. But before understanding this and before kind of surrendering myself to the divine, I felt like I had to do it all on my own. I felt like I have to force it and make it happen. I felt a stress and panic, right? Of like, I gotta get there faster. Putting this constant pressure, which kind of just caused more chaos. And then the personal emotions and feeling personally attacked if people didn't understand or if they judged what I was saying, right? And the more I started to do the work through quantum healing and connecting to the divine, the more I realize that I am the being, God is the doer. So I'm here as a channel, and God is assisting me. God is going to guide me and open the doors and bring me to the right people, put me in front of the right people, the right place, the right time. My work is in being me, and of course, taking aligned action, following the impulse, which is what I've been doing the past year in rebuilding everything from the ground up and making 8 new quantum healing hypnosis courses and creating a bunch of funnels with the freebies and starting to channel messages and write books and activate my voice and start singing and bringing sound healing frequencies and like quantum healing activations on another YouTube channel, and starting to prepare, wanting to like create my own publishing company for my books and for other amazing people I know who have stories that need to be heard, and so much more with like charities and other ideas that I have in mind. All these things that I have always felt were a part of my legacy and a part of God's legacy through me, truly. All these things are finally having this space for me to take the aligned action and receive the guidance and go put it into place day by day, one step at a time, right? That healthy masculine coming through me of, hey, here's the action today. Ooh, let's finish these few things tomorrow. Right? Like here we go, step by step, building this foundation, seeing the grand picture, also being open to the fact that it could look completely different and a million times better even, but knowing that this is what I'm building and I'm trusting the guidance that's coming through and following that. And then inviting God in to create this as well, so that I no longer feel I have to do it all on my own. And all of these things are such important parts, because I think for anyone who has gotten to this point here, listening to this today, when you have such a deep calling and you feel so strongly in every cell of your body, like the bigness of what you're here for, it can be hard to sometimes trust that fully and to trust ourselves. It can also be easy to fall into the imposter syndrome of like, who am I, or how do I even do this, because it feels so big. Even all the different things I just listed off, to part of me, it feels really small and really easy and really normalized, because I've been doing so much work to ground that in and feel it as part of my energetic reality, normalizing it in my nervous system, seeing that these are all parts of what I'm here to do. So for the greater, higher self aspect of me, it feels normal and easy and done. But there are parts where for the 3-dimensional human and maybe some aspects of old pain, right? Some of the lower self parts of me that goes, who am I to do that? How can I do that? I don't know the littlest thing about that, right? I'm still trying to revamp my entire coaching business and shift things, and I haven't seen all of that manifest fully in the way that I desire, but I've been taking the steps every single day. And so that's where all this work has assisted me to be able to have the vision, know what it is you're here to build, which is the building is a very masculine trait, but then to trust the higher guidance, receive, which is more the feminine, and also incorporate that intuition and that alignment as you're doing it. So all these things play such an important role, and they all come together for creating the legacy that God put you here for. And I can tell you, after years of the ups and downs and the chasing and the struggle and the jumping from one thing to the next, and then falling into the sadness, and then overworking from a lower masculine, trying to hustle and prove myself and make it happen, that it's been in the process of connecting deeper to the divine that I felt the level of peace in my business that was never there before. And to be able to realize like this is all possible, and of course I'm supported in doing it. So as I said, this is all the stuff that I teach inside Legacy. If you want to dive in and have the assistance, the support, all the things I've talked about on this video, all the different tools and practices and quantum healing activations, the link is in the description down below for you to check that out. And I hope this was helpful. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you again soon.